Okay, so we've covered the basics of 3-point editing in the cut panel. Now we're going to cover the trim operations in the cut panel as well. They're all here. They work a little bit differently depending on which video track you're using, but a lot of the shortcuts that we've been using are still valid. The one big omission in the cut panel is that we don't have a dynamic trim mode. We can't trim just by playing. That's a feature that some people don't ever actually use, but some people quite like it, so it's worth being aware of that. So let's take a look at trim editing in the cut panel. Now the first thing to point out is that you can actually trim edit up here in this kind of full zoom timeline. This shows you your entire edit. You can click and drag around up here, and you can also ripple and roll with the mouse just like you would in the edit panel. On either side is ripple, and on the middle of an edit point is roll, and you can see it updating in real time on the zoomed timeline below. And we can do all of those mouse operations below as well. If the edit point is underneath an edit which is above it, then that upper edit won't ripple, but if it's before or after, then it will ripple. And this is just standard left click on either side of the edit point to ripple, or click on the middle to roll, just like we did before. And our little chevron, the comma and the full stop, they work as well, as does the letter U, as do the up and down keys to skip between edits, as does V to select the nearest edit, as does Alt and E to select the nearest video edit as well. All of these shortcuts still work, and they all work in pretty much the same way. If we select the clip, we can wholesale move it around with the comma and the full stop. If we want to slip, then what we want to do is click on a clip, and if we hover over it, we can see a little slip symbol here, and I click and I drag that to slip an edit in the cut panel. Because we don't have a trim edit mode, we don't have select mode, we don't have trim edit mode, we don't have a razor blade, kind of dedicated razor blade tool. What we have are these kind of safety scissors up here, which is the same, which is similar. This is split clip, and that's also Control and B, and that will split the selected clip under the playhead. So that's Control or Command and B, or this safety scissors option up here. Alternatively, you can right-click on the red arrow at the top of the playhead, and you can hit the safety scissors as well, and that will also split the clip. When we right-click on the playhead, we can also choose to select everything to the left, or we can choose to select everything to the right using the left and right icons respectively. So I can go, there we go, everything to the left, and then I can move it around. So that's a nice overview of the basic mouse tools for ripple editing. One thing that's quite nice in the cut panel is this A/B trim editor up here, and it's quite a nice little function to have. If we click on an edit point, we actually get an indicator showing us the left, the last frame of the previous edit and the first frame of this edit. And what we can do is we can edit the clips down on the timeline by clicking and dragging the brackets that we see up here. And I can move either bracket, and if I'm on the first track, that will ripple, because only the first track ripples when you're using trim edits in the cut panel. The upper tracks will not ripple at all. Nothing's moving along there. That may as well be a roll there, except when I pull it back, the other one isn't coming down. We can do a roll edit in higher tracks, but the ripple edit, where you actually move one clip around and the rest of the timeline shuffles around to accommodate that, does not happen. And that's default behavior, and there's nothing we can do to change it. We can only ripple the first track in the cut panel. So what we can also do up here is we can drag on this and move it around to roll, or we can drag this here as well. And then we also have a display giving us last frame of the previous edit, first frame of the next up here as well, which is quite useful. We can also use these buttons, just like last time. And we can use these -1, +1 buttons again to ripple depending on where we have selected. So all of our old shortcuts are still valid. They can just behave a little bit oddly if we're not on the first video track. Basically, only the first track can ripple edits. That's the most important thing to remember. Right, so we've covered all of the trim controls in the cut panel. Next, we're going to take a look at transitions and effects. So click on through to the next lecture.